Hey, Dr. Brad here from Hope Clinic. I want to talk a little bit about mood. There's a lot of things we can talk about when it comes to mood. We talk a lot about serotonin and dopamine as being hormones that play a big role with mood, and I'm not going to argue that. But there's other hormones and things we don't talk about a lot that play a huge role with mood. One thing that we know with mood is endorphins and enkephalins can play a big role. So endorphins and enkephalins are actually kind of temporary hormones that are made in local areas of our body when we are moving, exercising. Chiropractic adjustments can increase them, massage can increase them. Exercise is the number one way we increase them. So that's just a huge part that gets missed a lot. If you're feeling down or anxious, trying to make sure you're getting movement in every day. Another hormone that doesn't get talked about a lot is oxytocin. With too much oxytocin, there can be some other issues. But the key with oxytocin that's unique is it's a positive feedback hormone, which means the more we make, the more we make. So an example of how oxytocin can work for you in your life is making sure that you are spending time with other people that feel safe, feel like you're important, feel like you're included, feel like you're a part of the group. And that will help keep your oxytocin at a good level over time. So if instead of maybe talking to that friend when you really need help, once every 3 months, it might make sense to talk to that friend every week, or get into a group that's positive every week or a couple times a week, so that we keep building that oxytocin over time and our body gets used to having that there to help our mood. Depression many times is an energy issue. So if we can get the energy systems up in the body where they're supposed to be, that can help depression immensely. Some of the organ systems I'll look at commonly we'll look to make sure there's not some kind of a missed thyroid issue, or we use liver energy regularly through the day to deal with stressors, making sure the liver energy is up. Another part is adrenal energy. When we're under stress, our adrenals make what we call corticoid hormones, which can be really helpful to help our body deal with stress, but then it can kind of wear down our adrenal energy over time. So what's supposed to happen is we're supposed to get adrenal energy up and down through the day when something's kind of exciting. And it can be what we think of as bad exciting, and it can be like just exciting. And our brain doesn't know the difference. It's all how we perceive it. One way we can do that, help people out, is by getting those adrenals working better. We'll usually use some supplements and things like that to do that. Another part gets missed at times is just our emotional energy. Now, all this energy plays a role, but then there's also just like, what have you been feeding your brain and your emotional brain over time that might affect your overall emotional energy? So if you feel like you're always having to deal with things that don't make sense, what we call double binds, that's a tough way to live for a long time. It will bring down your emotional energy, and then your physical energy will come down. But also just putting ourselves in positions where we're chronically stressed. I have a pretty stressful job, working with people with their problems all day long. And one way I deal with it is I call it leaning in and leaning out. So I'll lean into discomfort at times, and then I'll lean back out of discomfort. And so I'll do something that's uncomfortable, deal with something like that, but then I take breaks and try to refresh myself. And if you're constantly working under discomfort, that will wear down your energy systems. And if you don't have discomfort at times, you won't stimulate your energy systems to work like they're supposed to. Life just kind of comes back to balance and moderation a lot of times, but there are things you can do to help your energy, and there's a lot of things you can do to help your mood. The number one thing you can do is, I think, keep your body moving every day. And if your mood starts to slip a little bit, try to drink a bunch of water and get out and move.